Hi, my name is Christina Mirasol Saison, or Christina Maria Cecilia Mirasol Saison. That's my full name. And I'm reading an article that I wrote back in March 17, 2022, called Co-opting Radical Justice Work for Fun and Profit. So this photo is actually just an Unsplash photo that I downloaded for free off the internet, but it's pretty relevant. So, to move on, today, that is March 17th of 2022, I received this email. Okay, so here we have a screenshot of the email, and below, for folk who have trouble reading this admittedly tiny text, here's the transcript. And I quote, "Hi Christina, this month, Padang & Co. will be discussing issues related to persistent inequalities between men and women in rural areas and how such biases affect sustainable growth in these areas. How do we #break the bias? We would like to invite you to participate in our upcoming online event, Level the Field, empowering rural women to enable sustainable growth of their communities. Women from rural communities in Africa, Asia, and the Pacific typically work 12 to 13 hours more per week than men, and their contributions are often invisible and unpaid. These women face myriad challenges, including but not limited to low skill or low productivity jobs, unpaid work, long working hours, poor working conditions, and limited social protection. These issues must be addressed urgently. Join us as we discuss the intricacies of these pressing challenges with our distinguished panel, Licia Erza, Chief Executive Officer of ASYX Indonesia, Vidya Paramita, Head of Economic Empowerment, Sinarmas, Agribusiness and Food, Indonesia, Nisha Onta, Regional Coordinator of Asia, WOCAN, in Thailand, Shabnam Hussain, Cotton Insecticide Strategy Lead, Corteva Agriscience in India, and moderator Upma Arora, Global Innovation Program Lead, Avery Dennison in Singapore. The following are the event details. Thursday, 24th of March, time 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. GMT +8. Register here. Quote-unquote Level the Playing Field is a Padang & Co. roundtable series that convenes specialists and industry leaders from public and private sectors to share insights and discuss sustainability issues centered on various forms of inequality in our communities. Find out more at https://www.padang.co. Feel free to reach out to community@padang.co if you have any questions. Looking forward to seeing you online. Best regards, on behalf of the Padang & Co. team, a toot. So I just bleeped out her name. End quote. Initially, I wasn't quite sure of what to make of it, but some instinct to double-check things pinged in the back of my mind, and I decided to check out what kinds of organizations the panelists represented. And, well, ASYX. Quote, ASYX is a supply chain integration firm based in Indonesia and Singapore, specializing in agro-industry and forestry value chains. End quote. From ASYX's About page. And I put this in open and closed parentheses. Oh boy, agro-industry and forestry, corporate monocrop plantations and their allied industries. Close parentheses. The next one is Sinarmas. Quote, committed to be the leader in sustainable palm oil production. End quote. This is from Sinarmas's Agribusiness and Food page. Open parenthesis, palm oil in Indonesia! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Really, need I say more? Close parenthesis. Then thereafter is WOCAN. WOCAN, or WOCAN, is a women-led international membership network of women and men professionals and women's associations. End quote. From WOCAN's website. And here in parentheses I say, okay, kind of okay I guess, but keeping some strange company. And finally, The last one is Corteva Agriscience. And I quote, Corteva Inc., also known as Corteva Agriscience, is a major American agricultural chemical and seed company that was the agricultural unit of Dow DuPont prior to being spun off as an independent public company. End quote. This is from Wikipedia, which was accessed at 6:44 p.m. GMT+8 on the 17th of March 2022, because Corteva's website was very, very vague. Open parentheses. And here's a genuine mustachio-twirling cartoon villain of a company born out of the Dow DuPont Hydra beast, patenting seeds and forcing farmers into deeper and deeper cycles of agricultural debt through the economically and politically coercive use of their soil-killing quote-unquote inputs. Close parentheses. And then there's Avery Dennison. Quote, Avery Dennison is a materials science and manufacturing company specializing in the design and manufacture of a wide variety of labeling and functional materials. End quote. So this is from Avery Dennison's website, and I comment in opening and closing parentheses, packaging, labeling, and plastics. All the plastics. So, what's a girl passing individual to do? And then I shared a GIF of Homer Simpson thinking. And well, I said I'd respond, of course. So I did. And here is my response. Dear A, thank you so much for inviting me, but I must decline. The event's panel members, as representatives of ASYX, Cinermas, Corteva, and Avery Dennison, are aligned with the interests of agro-industry and neoliberal hyper-accumulation, and I strongly disagree with the neocolonial, technocratic greenwashing that the entities they are affiliated with engage in. As a queer and neurodivergent femme person, I would like to express my deep discomfort with how feminist rhetoric on the experiences of marginalized, female-identified peoples has been used in this event as a smokescreen for the corporate capture and financialization of agriculture. Deeply entwined phenomena that systemically undermine and ultimately disenfranchise women and other genders in profoundly alienating and harmful ways. As someone who is vocal about peasant and indigenous rights as well as food sovereignty and agroecology, I would respectfully like to request that you remove me from all of your contacts lists, as I do not see how these kinds of events align with my own aims. I stand with peasant farmers and the indigenous peoples of planet Earth. I'm not sure how you were able to find my contact details, but if you would like me to elaborate on the points I briefly mentioned, I am open to a quick conversation with you as an individual human, and not as a representative of Padang & Co. Thank you very much, and please stay safe. Chris. End quote. Now, I am neither rich nor influential, but I am tired, and I put am in capital letters, as well as, and I put in open and close parentheses, emphasis on the capital T in tired. I am tired of discussions on the liberation and well-being of marginalized peoples being co-opted by these kinds of interests. I admit, because I'm currently quote-unquote open to work, and I still am, and by that I mean that as a freelancer I am struggling to keep my head above water financially, like all the time. Still true. I may have made the mistake of applying to these kinds of entities in the hopes of getting some of that sweet, sweet food and shelter. And here is another GIF of Homer Simpson drooling, presumably over food and shelter. So this was taken from Jiffy.com, just like the previous one. But I don't care anymore. Blacklist my queer brown ass. I'm not your mascot. I'm not interested in the minstrel show that is corporate representation, and I refuse to have my queer, neurodivergent brown body be used to legitimize endeavors that actively disenfranchise queer, neurodivergent, brown, black, migrant, poor, disabled, religiously minoritized, ethnically minoritized, and a multitude of intersections and unmentioned marginalizations groups and individuals. I used to be fine with being a dancing monkey. I was hungry and homeless. I used to be fine with it. I had to be fine with it if I wanted to survive. But I'm relatively less hungry and homeless now, and that's given me the space to refuse. So, I refuse. I want to fight for a world where everyone can have the space to refuse. Because no, just no. Thank you. End of article.